It's the party game that rewards you for being mean to your friends. Throwing shade. What's the aim of this shady game? Score points for insulting your friends. Score the most points, win the game. It's that simple. Before you even think about throwing shade, grab at least 2 people to join you. If this includes a pet or a parent, put the game back in its box. It's not for you. Ooh, shady. For this example, we're going to use 4 players. As a group, vote for who you think is the least shady. This person gets to go first. If you're right about them, they'll need all the help they can get. As they're the least shady, this guy is trusted to separate the cards into 3 piles: the shade cards, the player cards, and the voting cards. Deal out the numbered player cards. This is how you'll identify each other when throwing shade and when voting. Deal out the voting cards. 1 number to represent each player. So here we have 4 players, and they'll each need a set of voting cards. Then shuffle the shade cards and deal 7 to each player. Then put the rest face down in the middle to create a draw pile. So on your turn, look through your shade cards and find 3 that relate to another player. Lay them on the table to form a trio of super subtle insults and read them aloud. Next to your shade cards, lay down the voting card that corresponds to that person, face down, so no one knows who you're throwing shade at. Everyone else then votes for who they think is being shaded by doing the same. When all the votes are in, everyone reveal their votes by flipping their voting cards to see if the numbers match. Oh, okay. This shade really didn't land. All voting cards need to match with the shade throwers to score points. If they don't, no points are scored, and those shade cards go in the discard pile. But what if players had voted differently? Everyone agrees that player 2 is basic AF. Now that's some weapons grade shade. When you match all votes, you keep the 3 shade cards as a way of keeping score. 3 cards equals 3 points. Whether you score points or not, pick up 3 new cards from the draw pile to end your turn. When everyone's had a turn at throwing shade, it's the end of the round. You can now freshen up your hand by replacing up to 2 shade cards. Change these cards from the draw pile, putting your old ones at the bottom. You want to be starting each new round with 7 cards. After 5 rounds, it's the end of the game. Count the cards in your score pile. The player with the highest score wins. Congrats, you just earned the title of Shadiest of the Shady. If there's a tie for the highest score, the game goes to a tiebreaker situation. For the tiebreaker, each player picks up 1 card from the draw pile and uses it to throw shade at any player, laying their voting card face down next to it. Everyone else votes as normal, only this time, the player that matches the most voting cards with theirs is the winner. So, you think you're good at throwing shade? Well, your friends will be the judge of that.